Most people dream of financial freedom, but the harsh reality is that most will never achieve it. Why? They keep making the same money mistakes, trapped in a cycle of stress and frustration. In this video, I'll reveal 7 major mistakes that are silently sabotaging your finances and tips on how to break free once and for all. In the end, I'll show you a strategy to secure your path to financial independence and 3 different apps completely free of charge that can help you get there faster. Let's get into it. 1. Keeping your head in the sand. Do you ever find yourself avoiding your financial situation because it's just too overwhelming? This is called avoidance coping, essentially sticking your head in the sand. I've been there myself. Early in my career, I avoided looking at my student loans, thinking if I didn't see the numbers, they wouldn't hurt me. Spoiler alert, they still hurt. But here's the thing. Avoiding your finances won't make the problems go away. Whether it's avoiding discussions about a raise with your boss, ignoring bills you can't pay, or postponing tough money conversations with your partner, avoidance only delays the inevitable. The best way to tackle this is by making it harder to ignore your finances. One effective way is using behavioral nudges. It's a concept from the book Nudge, and the idea is to set up systems that encourage better financial decisions without removing your freedom. For instance, to stop forgetting to pay bills, you can set up automatic bill reminders. Or if you're hesitating on investments, just set auto transfers to your investment account on a monthly basis. In short, build systems that hold you accountable, even when you're tempted to ignore your finances. 2. Obsessively comparing yourself to others. We live in an age of comparison, thanks to social media. I remember seeing my friends buying new cars or moving into fancier apartments, and it sparked a desire in me to upgrade my own lifestyle. This is what we call the keeping up with the Joneses syndrome. The problem with constantly comparing yourself to others is that it often leads to overspending. You're not buying things because you need or even want them, but because you feel you should have them. Here's a personal tip that's worked wonders for me. Create an ideal end state list. Grab a pen and paper and write down everything about your ideal life in detail. What does your day look like? Where are you? Who are you with? What do you feel? Whenever you're about to make a purchase, ask yourself, does this align with my ideal life? If buying that shiny new car doesn't align with your end goal, it's easier to redirect your spending towards something that does. 3. Letting cash sit around doing nothing. One of the biggest money mistakes I see people make is sitting on a pile of cash and doing nothing with it. And trust me, I used to be one of those people. I remember having a sizable amount just sitting in my checking account because after all that hard work saving, I didn't want to risk it. But here's the truth. Money that sits idle loses value due to inflation. Worse, it's not making more money for you. One of the smartest things you can do is to turn your capital quickly by investing. In my case, I took a course on digital marketing, which eventually turned into a side hustle that brought in extra income every month. Find ways to make your money work for you. 4. Not assigning an hourly rate to your time. This one's a game changer. Understanding the value of your time. Here's how you do it. Calculate your hourly rate. It's simple. Take your annual salary, say $80,000. Divide it by 2,000 hours, roughly how many hours you work in a year. You get $40 per hour. So if you spend time doing tasks like cleaning, which you could pay someone else $15 per hour to do, you're losing $25 for every hour you don't outsource that task. Personally, I struggled with outsourcing. But once I started assigning an hourly rate to my time, I realized I could spend those hours on higher value activities or simply rest. Let me tell you, outsourcing my house cleaning was one of the best decisions I ever made. Not only did it free up time, but it allowed me to focus on growing my business. 5. Not living on 90% of your income. The concept of living on 90% of your income comes from the book The Richest Man in Babylon. It's simple. Aim to live on 90% of your earnings and invest the remaining 10%. This creates a buffer for saving and investing. When I first heard this, I thought, there's no way I can save 10% of my income. But I gave it a shot, and I started by paying off my high-interest debt. Once that was out of the way, I could focus on setting up automatic transfers into a high-interest savings account. Here's a breakdown of how you can do this. By living on 90%, you're training yourself to live within your means while building wealth. 6. Focusing on cutting back instead of making more. We often hear advice to save money by cutting back. Skip that daily coffee, pack lunch, avoid unnecessary purchases. But here's the thing. There's only so much you can cut back on. There's a ceiling to frugality, but there's no ceiling to how much you can earn. For example, cutting out your daily latte might save you $100 a month, but negotiating a raise or starting a side hustle could bring in thousands. I've experienced this firsthand. I used to focus on cutting small expenses, but when I shifted my focus to increasing my income, things really started to change. I negotiated a raise at my job and took on freelance projects, and suddenly those small expenses didn't seem so big anymore. 7. Not tracking your expenses. Imagine driving a car without knowing how much gas you have. That's what it's like to manage your finances without tracking your expenses. Not knowing where your money is going each month is a fast track to overspending and unnecessary financial stress. A couple of years ago, I realized I had no idea how much I was spending on dining out. It was way more than I thought. Once I started tracking my expenses, I could make better choices, set a realistic budget, and start redirecting money towards savings and investments. A great way to get a grip on your spending is by using free apps that track your expenses and give you a clear picture of where your money is going. Apps like Mint, YNAB, You Need a Budget, and Pocket Guard are fantastic for this. Here's why these apps are so beneficial. Mint. It's like having a personal finance assistant in your pocket. Mint automatically categorizes your spending, rent, bills, groceries, etc., sends reminders about upcoming bills, and even tracks your credit score, all for free. YNAB. This app is all about being proactive with your money. It helps you budget by giving every dollar a job, and while it's best known for helping people avoid overspending, they offer a free trial too. Pocket Guard. Pocket Guard is perfect if you need a simple overview of how much money you can safely spend after bills, savings, and necessities. It even helps identify areas where you can cut back. These apps break down your spending into categories: fixed costs, rent, bills, future costs, savings, investments, and fun costs, entertainment. These tools can really help streamline your budgeting, save you time, and make the whole process far less overwhelming. Plus, they'll hold you accountable. Remember, the ultimate goal here is to set up a system that works for you. A system that automates your good financial habits and helps you move closer to financial freedom. And even when you're on the right track, it's normal to feel a bit lost or overwhelmed. Sometimes the real game changer is to start building a financial buffer. In my next video, I'll share 6 simple tips to help you save $10K effortlessly. Make sure to check it out.